started my business years ago, we had a Labour government. We had the Chancellor of the Exchequer at the time was Dennis Healey, and his famous statement was, "I'm going to squeeze them until the pips squeak."
Yeah, he did.
I was trying to develop my business at the time. It took off okay, but as soon as I started to make a profit, I found I was paying something like 85% of everything I earned, and it just wasn't worth it. My wife had a good job. She was highly qualified, spoke several languages.
Right, well, you're talking about ancient history. That's not now.
No, but it's the same. It's exactly the same sort of process, because politicians seem to think they can just tax people, and if you're earning a fair bit of money, they think they can just tax it away, but they can't, and I wouldn't let them do it. And so my wife...
They only can't because people escape to what's called a tax haven. Now, if tax havens were shut down for the benefit of all human beings on Earth, apart from the tiny handful of people in whose accounts the wealth of the world resides, then the planet would be a better and more healthy place. The super rich don't pay tax. It's the middle classes that pay tax. It's those who are the upper earners in the middle classes who get paid wages. Those are the people that pay the tax. But that's not wealth. Those are earnings. The people with the money, they don't pay tax because they don't get wages. They earn their money through the appreciation of their assets.
Well, in my particular case, I would wake up in the morning and I would think to myself, now, what shall I do today? Shall I develop the business, or shall I try and figure out how to minimise my taxes and bring them down?
People normally pay accountants to do that sort of thing.
Well, I'm qualified in accountancy, so I didn't need to do that.
And you still couldn't figure it out?
Well, you don't actually need to be an accountant, because basically they're taxing you on your profits. And you can say to them, you're not going to take any more money from me.
Of course.
I'm not going to earn a pound and pay 85 pence in that pound to tax. I'm simply not going to do it.
Right. So I've barely ever heard of anybody so into... I mean, you're calling from Weybridge, George. Yeah. It seems to me like you've probably done all right in life. Weybridge in Surrey, one of the richest places in the country.
I've been very lucky. I mean, I started off I was brought up in a...
I don't care about your... I'm not remotely interested in your history, but your point is that the super rich are they're squeezed until the pips come out, or whatever was the phrase. And that's not true. The well-off, yes, they get taxed because the tax gets taken from their wage. But wages are not how you get rich. It's the appreciation of your assets. And assets are taxed almost not at all in some cases. And there was the EU Tax Observatory last year. Last year. They were looking at tax abuse. And they said the kind of loopholes that allow the super rich... I'm not talking about people who earn 150 grand a year. I'm talking about people who have hundreds of millions, if not billions of pounds of assets. Those are the super rich. That's the 0.1%. And I think 0.1% of the people in America own something like 50% of all of the wealth in America. So it's like a handful of people who've got all the cash. These loopholes that are written, I would imagine, specifically to benefit them, they can avoid certain forms of income tax, resulting in effective tax rates. So said the EU Tax Observatory.